Gladys Njura. I'm a mother of two beautiful girls. I came into this opportunity when I was working. I'm a trained teacher. I also worked in the banking industry for some years. And then one fateful day, I met Neolife. I was introduced into Neolife. And my second training, I actually went through a health talk. And it amazed me. It amazed me how ignorant I was as a mother, as a child, as someone's child, as a citizen. And I remember being taken through my first health talk on a Monday evening after work. And I just got blown away. But what excited me most was it was the beginning of a journey that has been going on for the last 22 years. It's been an amazing journey. And so if you've come in as a guest, I just want to welcome you and tell you not to stop. This should be the beginning of better days to come. And if you are part of what we do in the health and wellness industry, specifically prevention, I think you need to take it a notch higher, and so that we can help many people. So just to delve in a little bit about what we do, our company is a manufacturing company that operates in more than 55 countries of the world. And the mission of this company, Neolife International, is to make the world a healthier and a happier place. Okay? To make the world a healthier and a happier place. And there's nothing as good as having your health well taken care of, even as we try to enjoy the other things that life has to give us. And so, karibuni sana. And today we are going into what we call the bone. Just a minute. Yeah, bone and joint health. We have several systems in the body. As a human being, our body is made up of several systems. Let me mention the ones I can remember without having to really think much. We have the digestive system, reproductive system, lymphatic system, circulatory system, musculoskeletal system, the nervous system. And those are just about the ones I could remember. And all these systems form the body. And the body is also made up, after the systems, we have the organs. After the organs, we have the tissues. And then we have the body cells. And the body has rough estimate 73 to 100 trillion cells. And so, being who we are as human beings, our main goal should be to take care of our body, right from the cellular level, to the tissue level, to the organs, to the larger systems that we are talking about. And what I love most about our business is that, or our industry, is that you're able to learn how to take care of your body from head to toe. And that is super exciting, you know. And so we are going to look at the musculoskeletal, and that one involves quite a number of things in the body. Probably after this, you can read more. As you can see what's on the screen right now, it involves the bones, the muscles, the joints. You know, there has to be movement of blood, of water, oxygen, and so many things that can either make us live a healthier life or actually make us feel a bit not well taken care of. And so we are being told your health is your greatest wealth. And for me, I want to tell you that that is really important. So basically, our key business is to make sure that we take care of reversing the trends that we are seeing. Because the World Health Organization said many years ago that by 2020, that's like 5 years ago, they had said by 2020, chronic diseases would account to almost 3 out of every 4 deaths. And that includes the big ones, the heart disease, cancer, diabetes, stroke, respiratory, and obesity. But beyond that are others that actually make us really uncomfortable. Like like now we are speaking about the bone and joint health. And so it's important to know what are the things that can give us a healthy life, a healthy body. We are being told for you to live a healthy life, 1, you need to drink more water. Water is life. We know that, right? And we are told that if you're not taking water, you are jeopardizing very many activities in the body. By standards, we need 2 to 3 liters of water in a day, taken in between the day, best taken before meals. Yeah, if you have to take water in between meals, let it be warm. So we need to do that and make it a culture in our life. The other thing is exercise. We need to exercise. You need to walk a lot. You need to, don't be the kind of person who is always driving and just, you are deterring your movement. Walk a lot. Walking is very, very important. And other kind of exercises that we know, aerobics, whatever it is that you can do, taking the stairs up and down. We need to live an active life and avoid sitting or just sitting somewhere for a long time. And this I say especially for people who work in offices. It's the high time you got this knowing that you shouldn't sit for long. It can affect your back, it can affect your nerves, and that's not good for you. Then we need to reduce stress, of course, our stress levels. Stress gets everybody, but how you manage it is actually what really helps your body. In every sense of way, excess stress actually messes your systems. And so that is something we need to think about. Of course, there's the issue of resting. Resting is key. How the patterns of sleeping. You need to sleep minimum of 6 hours a day, going to 8 if possible. Very, very important. So are you giving your body good rest? There's no need of depriving your body rest. Then over time you have challenges of the same body. It doesn't make sense. So whatever the reason that makes you not sleep, if it's insomnia, we got the solution. Yeah, we do. Yeah, so it's very, very important. And then, of course, eating a healthy diet. You know, that is one thing that many people have ignored to understand. And I want to tell you that eating healthy is your prerogative. It's not your doctor's thing. It's not your nutritionist thing. And there's so much that God has given us that can take care of our health. In fact, we are told that food is medicine. You need to eat food as medicine so that you don't take medicine as food. So a healthy diet, we're going to look at it in a nutshell. What does it entail? Another thing we need to look at, and it's very critical, especially at a time like now when we are talking about bone and joint health, is how to manage your weight. Probably you need to take that screenshot if you have, or you take a picture, so that at least in a layman's way, you are able to know how to calculate what we call the body mass index, the BMI. A BMI, the index given, it means that you're either underweight, or you're okay, or you're overweight. And knowing your BMI is very important. And staying true to it is equally more important. And so how do you calculate your BMI? In a kienyeji way, your weight in kgs. So you get to know your weight in kgs, then get to know your height in meters. So you're going to do your weight in kgs, say you are 60, divide by your height in meters, 1 point, whatever it is squared. You know, you multiply that to 2, then you divide by the kgs. If it comes below 18.5, you're underweight, and that's very dangerous. For all your organs, yani everything is clicking red. Not good for you. And underweight, actually, most people who are underweight, they have very many challenges in life. Then we are told the normal BMI is between 18.5 to 24.9, the index that you get after you do this calculation. And that one is normal. So we need to fight towards remaining there. The minute it starts hitting 25 and above, then you know you are overweight. If it hits 30, you're obese. If it does over 40, you are morbid or clinically obese. And that is super, super dangerous. Even obesity is in itself, it's a challenge. But just in case any of us could be having a challenge where your weight is a bit high, try your very best to live an active life. It's very, very important to live an active life. But at the same time, it could bring challenges to your knees. It can actually give your knees challenges over time, and that is not good. Now, this is how our health status should looks like. We are told that your health status should be at 100%, and then we look at the age. Ideally, we are supposed, according to God's will for us, is for us to be vibrant all the way, such that in our 80s and our 90s, we are running, we are doing exercises. The way we see quite a number of there are some nations that are very serious, where their elderly people are they're very active. They're still very strong. They are active. Their mind is at its best. And that's the best thing, that you live a very vibrant life. Of course, that happens if you do what we've talked about. You're taking enough water, you're eating right, you're having an active life, you are sleeping well, you manage your stress levels. But what happens is that towards the age of around 20, which is now decreasing as the days go by, because our children are living more and more a less active life, and they're eating a lot of junk, you find that by the time someone gets to their mid-20s, their mid-20s, that vibrancy disappears. I love children. You know, when you look at children, they are playing all over, all day long, just up and down, because I believe it's because their mothers and their fathers are very serious on their life. They eat the right time. They make sure they are having enough sleep. They make sure, I mean, they're just monitored. From morning to evening, they are monitored on their lifestyle, most of them. But after 20, those kids are leaving home. And the minute they leave home now, no one is monitoring them, and they start misbehaving a few things. Why? Because as parents, we haven't taught them. We haven't taught them this very important lesson of health, either because we don't know, or we assume they are okay. I don't know. It could be ignorance. It could be assumptions. But now we start getting into the tired zone. I was in the tired zone when I was working in the bank. I was in my 20s. I used to be super tired after work, and I couldn't wait for the end of the year. I get my leave days to go and sleep a bit. And even if I sleep and I go back to work, same cycle, until I came to understand why I'm getting tired and sick. And eventually people get sick. So you find if you're not careful, you might live most of your years from the 20s, you start getting tired, maybe some people get sick. And so you live most of your life when it's not at its best. And it shouldn't be like that. But we are here to say we can return back the vibrancy and take care of our health so that we are energetic. So those parameters need always to be checked. We've looked at them: stress, sleep, exercise, weight, diet. And just in case you know anyone going through these challenges, if they put in enough effort between now and the next 6 months, they can register a very high level of change back to almost normalcy. It may not be 100% because we don't know the extent of damage, but they can live a better quality life. So it is your responsibility, you who is here, not just to listen, but to make sure that you keep learning more, and the people around you can get hold of this information in one way or another. So we are saying we need to make sure that we are not living that kind of life. So let's look at what's messing us up. Why are we not living a vibrant life? One of the things is scientists they have said over the years, since the World War II, that 95% of the foods people are eating, they actually lack nutrients. Ouch. When I had that my first day, I was like, no way. But let me tell you, it's getting worse by the day. 95% of people lack nutrients. And we are getting to the topic. I'm not off topic, okay? And then we are being told 75% of the population, they are now deliberately consuming incorrect foods. Too much sugars, too much salts. I mean, things in excess, and also lacking quite a number of very important things that they need to take. And so ideally, if you go to a real hospital, you'll find this food pyramid drawn somewhere. I hope they haven't stopped. I haven't visited in a while, but I hope this remains, that we need to be, it to be ingrained in our minds that we need to eat a healthy lifestyle, a healthy diet. And a healthy diet looks more or less like this. But remember, incorporated with active life. Because if you eat like this and you're not active, you find that even the good foods that you've eaten in terms of like the whole grains, they'll still be more or less like excess for you. And so remember, this food is supposed to be fuel. It's supposed to be protection. It's supposed to be bodybuilding. Okay? So they tell us we need to eat a lot of whole grains. Anytime you put food on the table, you need to check if it's rice, is it brown rice? If it's chapo, is it atta, unga? If it's mandazi, samosa, whatever it is, you can think about that is starchy. Is it derived from the whole grains? If it's ugali, is it the one that has not been removed anything? For whatever reason, and whatever reason you give us that you don't eat whole grain, that's your story. But the body requires them for a reason or another. Whole grains give us the fiber, good fiber. They give us good oils that are very important for us. Then we need a lot of fruits and vegetables. Remember, some of the bone and joint challenges are caused by autoimmune things in the body. And so your fruits and vegetables are critical so that you don't get affected by autoimmune diseases, and the balance is there for building your immunity. And also they give a lot of vitamins and minerals that are required for your musculoskeletal system. Then we need good proteins. Proteins are good. In the proteins, like the animal proteins, we get B complex, which is very good for the nerves. Nerves are very critical for our muscles. And also they are bodybuilding. Everything that gets hurt, like if you break your leg or something, you need that building up. And so the proteins are critical. The best are plant-based. And then you move on to the white meats, the organic white meats. Then you do the other animal proteins, but they should be moderated, not excess. And even the mode of cooking should be checked. That's a story for another day. Fat and sugar should be very little. Now, the biggest challenge we are having is now most of the fats and sugars are coming from refined starches. We are no longer eating whole grains. We are eating them refined in all manner of ways. Every corner of Kenya, things are being cooked by the roadside. Fast foods, whether it is kaimatis or whatever, donuts, whatever it is, they are all over, chips. So you find too much of the sugars and fats. Instead of being minimal, they are coming from those whole grains, refined starches, which is very not good for us. And so when you look at a typical diet, this is a kind of diet that excites people. Like today being a Sunday, it's usually a cheat day for most of the families. And for some families, maybe this is something that they do on a regular basis. And when you look at that food, you can't see any green there. All that food, even if you put it in the dustbin, you'll not see the ants coming to eat this food. But if you put real life things, the peelings and everything, they start lotting immediately, and they start attracting some attention from the other small insects. That means that food is live. So those are some of the things you're able to tell whether you're eating well. Now, delving very quickly to the bone and joint health. Bone, it's actually a living tissue. Don't see like it's something dead. It's living. In there, in the bone, things are happening. And the bones play a very strong role of building, holding us up in every sense of way. Okay? So it's a living tissue that has to keep being renewed, because in every part of the body, other than the brain mostly, the cells die and they have to be replaced. Some are impaired, they have to be replaced. So how fast your cells can be able to replace themselves when they get old or they are not well will depend on how healthy you'll be, including even the bones and the joints. So this is a very serious area of interest, because we all have bones and joints. And even pregnant women, remember, this is what begins with your children. So the way you feed will determine how your child will be. It's very, very important. So we know that bone it's made up of protein, minerals, and the main minerals for the bones, we know them: calcium, magnesium, vitamin D is very critical, and so quite a number of others are very, very important for maintaining good bone density. You know, your bones also need to be dense enough to hold pressure and to hold even the meat, the muscles, and the nerves also need to be taken care of, so that the movement of the nerves, whatever is moving in between and out along the bones, the nerves are at their best of state. But you find that as we age now, our bones start losing their density. They start going down, decreasing. And that's why you find as people grow older, their skin starts sagging. It looks like it's detaching from the bone. You know, there are so many complications of both the bones, the muscles, and you need to take care of them now, so that as you age when you are at your best, you know. So those minerals are very, very important. And the more you read about them, the more intrigued you become. So there are many common disorders of the bone, okay? And some of them, we have experienced them. Some of them we don't even know. One is called osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is where your bones actually become weak and the density becomes low. And so you are at a risk for a fracture. The minute your bone twists a little bit like this, you easily get a fracture. And they say it's a silent disease, because you can't tell, you know, and that even may affect your teeth. If your teeth are weak, they are not strong, or a child's teeth are not strong, you can tell what is happening right there. And even pregnant women, they lose a lot of their teeth. They start shaking and they lose them, because the bone, they have to give the baby the bone and they are being left without. And that's very something that we need to check out. Fractures. We've seen that if you are so, other than a serious accident, we shouldn't be so prone to fracture. And that's why we need to really take care of our bones. Very, very important. Okay. Others are, we are not going to the issues where you have challenges of the shape of the bone structures. Those the doctors really need to handle. But we need to take care of our children so that they don't get these kind of challenges. Where you have a curved spine. I have a niece. No, she's a niece. And she has a braid. She has a big braid that looks like a vest that she wears every day for quite a number of years right now. She was told she has a curved, I don't know what happened, but those things, you can see them, they do happen. And we are saying we need to prevent, okay? Then, of course, there's rheumatoid arthritis. This is an autoimmune disease where there's a lot of inflammation, where the immune system is attacking the healthy cells. You can't even understand why. In that area, there's swelling. You see somebody swelling in a certain area where the joints are. And if not taken care of, they can start diverting and looking the other side or different side, not looking the normal way. They are diverting. And that can be an attack. It could be the hands, it could be the legs. Some people, it could even be where you can't even see. We have seen the back and everywhere, the tissues at the joint levels, and they cause a lot of pain, a lot of pain. And these people, they live on painkillers. They start getting deformed. They start using the cane. They start using the wheelchair. So it's very important that you take care of the cell, the joints and the bones early enough. And we've seen some of the things that we need to do. Let me add a few other causes that can have us have bone and joint challenges. If you have an injury, that can affect you in the future. In fact, the minute you break a leg or you have an injury, you need to accelerate the healing. Because if the healing is not at its best, you'll always have a problem. Those are the people, when it's cold and they had an accident, they say that place is very painful. They can feel the cold being affected right there. So the healing needs to be taken care of. Make sure you're not lacking the key nutrients that we've talked about: calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, and quite a number of others that help the body. Boron. There are many. Don't over-exercise. There are people who over-exercise. You know, the athletes, most athletes who are serious, they have nutritionists to take care of them so that they don't mess their structures. And that's why you find that they take a lot of protein shakes and they do a lot of proteins. So you need to make sure that you don't over-exercise. The diseases like lupus, these are very terrible disease. Leukemia. Leukemia is a form of cancer that affects the bones. Those things are very tricky. Infections, we've seen being overweight, osteoporosis. When you have an underactive thyroid, it can affect your bone and joints. And there's a family history. In my family, we have a history of having arthritis. And my mom, 22 years ago, was always breaking a leg here, a hand here, losing density at the joints. She was due for an operation. She was saved by change of diet and our supplements. She never went for that operation. Once we understood these hormonal issues, please take care of your hormones. Some medications that actually will affect you, drinking, smoking. Let's just avoid the things that can mess our lives. It's not worth it at all. So now, why are we here to learn? We are here to learn because even as we try to eat well, we've been told to try and eat well. There's usually a gap that could come even as you try to eat well. One, we are not the ones farming. So you don't know what the farmer put in that soil, year in, year out. Is it just fertilizer alone? Because that's what they are putting these days. Fertilizer, when there's no fertilizer, it's a crisis in Kenya. People no longer use manure. People no longer use crop rotation or letting a land heal before they come back to it. Mulching, those things that we did in the yesteryears are not anywhere being done because everyone is thinking commercial. Sometimes food is harvested before it's ready, before it's at its prime harvesting, because the demand for food, the people who come to buy food in your shamba are here. You sell off before it's ready. Sometimes it is overcooking, the transportation, and of course the deficiency in the cells. So those challenges are right there and they are affecting us directly. And that's why we have very many people with bone and joint challenges and any other challenges. So how can we prevent? We must start thinking how to have a healthy weight. I mean, have a healthy weight, physical exercise. I can't overemphasize that once again. Make sure you have enough calcium, magnesium, and D. Now, this is what happens. There are many calcium and magnesiums out there and D. But according to science, for the requirement of the calcium, magnesium, for every 2 calciums, you need 1 magnesium. That balance is very important. And magnesium is needed more than the calcium is needed more than the magnesium. And yet you also need to have a D present, D3, because it helps the absorption of the calcium. And so it's quite a complex of having all the requirements. And of course, there are other things like vitamin C. Vitamin C is very good for collagen. Remember, the bone is, the muscles are attached to the bone. They need to have collagen so that they are tightly holding on to the bone. They don't, over years, are detaching, and you will have challenges. And there are many other things that we need even for the joints. For the joints, we need something called glucosamine, we need boron, we need zinc. All those things, they work together. We need omega. Omega because of the synovial fluid right at the joint level, you see? And so it's quite, and that's why we need a diet that is dense. Yani it's quality, but it has quantity. And it is densely, you have everything you need in a day. And you need, in a day, you need all the vitamins, the minerals, the whole grains, because of the germ of the grain, and so many intricacies right there. So that is very, very important. And of course, we've been told if you have the habits of smoking, drinking, and the things that can cause you problems, be careful. And if you're pregnant, you need to take more care. So in your life, if you go to Mr. Google and you search Neolife University, there's a whole course there on bone and joint that is taught by the scientists. We have a very successful and well-profiled scientific advisory board. These guys will teach you more. And they'll do other courses that might interest you. So just go to Neolife University, get the bone and joint health, and read more so that we are on the same level. So we are in an era where we need to supplement. And so for supplementing, because we are not eating whole grains, we need this product called Trienen. Trienen is very critical because it's the germ oil that is removed by most millers when they are milling the seeds. They remove the germ and they make they make seed oils, the cooking oils, and they make food for our animals. And yet we need that oil. So it's the one that is being replaced so that every cell in your body gets the oil that is required to make it permeable, to allow nutrition in and waste out. So there we are with our Trienen. Is a very important product. I would like you to read more. Go to YouTube, pick out Trienen, read as much as you can about it. We have for fruits and vegetables a supplement called carotenoid complex. This one is a Mercedes. It is patented by Neolife because of how important it is. And with this one, in exactly 90 days, 20 days, if you're taking 3 of them, you boost your immunity by 37%, which is a very high boost for your immunity to be high. Then we have the omegas. The omegas are very important for the joints, for the brain, for the nerve. Very critical. And of course, you need a blend of the vitamins and minerals we've talked about. So on the specifics, you find that this one will help your cells work at its best. Now, when your cells are healthy, your tissues are healthy, and every part of your body is working in the right sense of way, including the bones. They are well taken care of, the renew and everything. Yeah. Now, the other ones that you need, we talked about as we learned today, calcium, magnesium, and D3, they need to go as one like that. And remember, we said for every 2 calciums, you need 1 magnesium. So that balance is very important for giving the body the very best. So you just don't say, oh, you know, the calcium I'm taking has 1,000 mg, it's high. No, it's not an issue of being high. It's an issue of the compatibility of calcium and magnesium and D to give you a very good effect. Then on top of that, it's chelated. Chelated means it is bound in such a way that its absorption is towards the levels of 80–90%, vis-a-vis the ones that you might be take that are synthetic, and the absorption is very little, and doesn't give you the best effect you need to feel. So that's a guarantee of the calcium here. One tablet doesn't have much, but that combination of the 2 to 1 and vitamin D3, you find that when you do the 3 tablets recommended, within a week or 2 or 3 and a month, if you're having bone and joint challenges, you start feeling much better. Okay? And remember, magnesium is also very important for sleep. Guys with insomnia, your solution is there. Remember, if you're not sleeping well, you affect your body. Magnesium is very important for sleeping. Vitamin D is also very important for boosting your immunity. So it's very important, and the eyes and everything else. Then the salmon oil will work on your joints most importantly. In this specific discussion, your joints have the synovial fluid right at the joint level, and that flexibility is required. So when that oil is interfered with, the bones start eating each other, and there is no liquid. And when they start eating each other, they could chip, they could create a lot of inflammation and pain and wounds. And that redness and the pain causes now that swelling, that someone has a swelling of the legs and all that. And this is very important for our parents so that they don't go through what we call the kneecap replacements. I hear a lot of kneecap replacements, not necessary. If we are able to be keen on this. Full motion, where we sew the joint, there's something called a cartilage. It's a cushion for the 2 bones to be able to function at their best. Now that cartilage, if it is hurt, if it is not fed with the right foods, it gets finished, it gets interfered with, and now the joints are very painful. And so the full motion is for regenerating a healthy cartilage over time. And remember, these are not things that will heal you like a Panadol. The way you take Panadol, it heals your pain, but it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked on the cause. Now we are understanding the cause. The cause is lack of those things we are talking about. Now we are going back to the cause of the solution, not camouflaging the pain and all that. So those are very, very important. And so with the calcium there, you can take that screenshot if you're able to take a photo. It will support even your pressure. That's an added advantage. You know your heart is a muscle as well. We are talking about muscles here. Your heart is a muscle. It will require that strength of the calcium and magnesium to work at its best. So it's also good for the pressure. It's good for the optimal nerve and muscle. And of course, we said for the bones. It will make sure that your bones have the right density to withstand the challenges that are there. And so that's a wholesome thing. And remember, we've talked about insomnia also, the sleeping patterns. Calcium is best taken at bedtime. 3 tablets at bedtime. But just in case you're having a lot of challenges, you can increase the dosage a little bit. Do 3 at night, do 2 in the morning for maybe a week or 2, so that you bring back that density required very fast. Then now you can slow down to the normal intake, especially for people with a lot of challenges, okay? Because you will not overdo it. With our kind of calcium, you're not going to overdo. A woman needs 1,500 mg. A man needs about 1,200 mg. So with this one, you not say that I'm overdoing it. No, 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 no. Okay. Moving on, we go to somebody is, give me a minute. Somebody is messing up with the screen. There we go. So we are saying the next one is omega-3. Why our omega-3 is very important is because the omega is not just the typical fish oil you just go and buy in the shop. Cod liver, you just pick and you're like, I'm good to go. No. Studies have shown that it works as a family. And it has a family of 8 EPAs. They are EFAs, essential fatty acids. There are 8 of them. And the main ones are DHA, EPA, and ALA. Those are the main ones. And they need to be beyond 200, 300, 400 mg. They shouldn't be very little. So you find that Neolife has combined the entire family of 8 and they work in synergy. And when something works in synergy, the potency is at its best. And so you find that you get very good results with our omega-3. It's very good, I told you, for the heart, also very good for inflammation. Those pains and the swellings you're seeing, very, very important. So it will actually reduce, it will prevent them before they happen. The joint challenges, it will prevent even heart disease. It will prevent even things like clots if you get used to having it. And you can't say you'll have an excess of omega-3. We need 3 servings of fatty fish every day. And the best fish is the types of salmon, mackerel, tuna, sardines, which we never get. And then, of course, an added advantage is it's screened for 200 contaminants, as in over 200 contaminants. And many fish oils have a lot of contaminants. So this one is giving you a super guarantee that it's at its best. So it is pure, it's fantastic. You do 3 a day, especially if you're having a health challenge. Please do 3 a day after meals. You can decide to do them all together, or you split them morning, lunchtime, and evening. That's okay. But for calcium, we said it's best taken at bedtime. Full motion, it's effective because it returns back the repair of the joints, the regeneration of and the comfort, the flexibility and the comfort of the joints, the mobility. The glucosamine is required, is very good for people who do heavy exercises, for us who are aging, so that you don't get to that level where your joints are bringing challenges. Yeah, and it has many other things in it other than the glucosamine. So it is very, very important, is potent, and doesn't have digestive or allergic discomfort. That means that there could be others in the market that have glucosamine, but they will give you digestive discomfort and allergies. This one is specifically made so that you don't have those challenges. So there you have it with full motion. Of course, if you're weighty, you work on your weight. There's no two way about it. Is it going to be easy? No. Just give yourself a target of 6 months. Give yourself a target of 6 months to a year, so that at least you can be able to cut maybe 5 to 10 to 15 kilos. Don't be too quick to cut weight. Just be consistent with it. And you find that when you're consistent over a period of time, it works better than when you want quick fix. So we have our program, our weight loss program, that has a Pro Vitality, has a Neolife tea and the Neolife shake. And of course, you get the shaker there to be able to shake the protein drink. Okay, so that's for weight. Let me stop there and say we are a community that encourages people so that you are able to afford to prevent and even to treat if it's happening in your body. The company tells you can partner with us, and so that you can be a direct consumer directly from the company. We do not want a situation where you are thinking, oh, they are very expensive. You can have a way. The person who invited you can introduce you directly to the company, and so that you can be able to buy at cost price at the company. Of course, by becoming a member, there's a membership amount you pay. They are going to tell you the details. Please ask. And then, of course, once you become a member, the privilege is the leadership and the development. We do a lot of trainings. We do a lot of research. We communicate on a daily basis with our teams. Oh my goodness. And you get into this community of people who want to be healthy. And not just them, they also empower other people. Should you feel your finances are not at their best, like me, I had challenges of finances and I kept wondering, how do I hold up the supplements for myself, my children, my parents? And now sometimes I buy for my grandchild. I have a grandchild. The thing is, learn how to make some additional income. There's no shame in wanting to earn additional income so that it can help you to access this for your loved ones, and also to be able to have materials, because you're going to be given materials to be able to teach other people. And so you saw with our the e-catalog, you learn a lot. I told you about the Neolife website, not the university. And in our back office, because when you join, you're going to be given a website specific to you and a back office that has something we call the resource center. The resource center has a lot of information in terms of specifics to the product and videos, that specific videos for specific areas to build you to be a better person. And so for me, there's so much more we can talk about this, but because of the limited time, let's just be comfortable with what we have today. And so I want to take it back to Fred Gishuki to do the wrapping for us. Fred, please take it away. Thank you guys for spending the afternoon with us.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gladys. That was amazing, amazing, amazing. Very powerfully done and right to the point. Guys, we have it there. We really have to take care of our health, and taking care of our bone health is so critical. It is so critical to take care of your bone health. And one thing that excites me about when you learn about nutrition is that you can be able to regenerate your bones at whatever age, at whatever level. And that to me is very exciting. So long as you give yourself the right kind of nutrition, make the right kind of lifestyle choices, you'll be as strong as an ox, regardless of your age. So we have come to the end of our session. Again, thank you so much, Gladys, for doing that for us. And I just want to advise everybody, this recording will be available a little bit later today, so that you can be able to share it with a friend, a neighbor, a relative. And like Gladys said, if you want to know more about the business, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, Pascal Olo will be doing a very exciting session. No, sorry, we are still on Easter break. Sorry. He's resuming after Easter. So that will be the other week, the other Monday, that he'll be doing the business presentation for us. But I just want to encourage everybody. Next Sunday, we'll be back again. We'll be having this session. Make sure you invite a friend, a neighbor, relative. Let us invite as many people as possible to this platform so that they can be able to learn more about nutrition. You'll be amazed at the level of ignorance that is out there as far as diet and nutrition is concerned. And like the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Let us touch so many people's lives. Let us invite as many people as possible to this platform. Let them come and learn about nutrition so that they can be able to protect themselves, protect their loved ones. And by so doing, we will actually be helping the company to make this world a healthier and a happier place to live in. So thank you all. God bless you. Have a restful Sunday evening. There is a question Gladys is pointing out on the chat.
About weight gain.
Okay. I cannot see it. She's asking whether one can be able to gain weight. Oh yes, I've seen it. Which is the healthy way for a young lady to gain weight? Yes, we have products that can actually help you to either gain or lose weight. We have the Neolife Shake, we have Calmag, we have 3NN, we have Vitamin B Complex. These are products that you can be able to use, and you can actually be able to gain weight in a healthy way. So yes, we do have a solution for that. Talk to the person who invited you, and they'll be able to connect you, and you can be able to access these products so that you can be able to gain weight in a healthy manner. I don't know if there is any other question there that maybe I could have missed. Okay. I think we are done. Okay. So yeah, so guys, let's make sure we use this platform to invite as many guests as possible. That's why we do with this meeting, so that you can invite your guests. Make sure you get at least 10 people on this call every Sunday to just come and listen and hear about health, how they can live a longer, healthier life. And by so doing, some of them will become your customers. Some of them will become distributors and start building the business from then on. But by bringing them on the platform, you're giving them a chance to make that decision. Some of them will just become customers and they'll be buying from you, which is good enough. And they can also refer some friends along. So it's very important to invite both distributors and guests on this platform. Even if you're a guest, even if you're not yet a distributor, it does not matter. You can invite a friend along to come and listen in and start sending them the links every Sunday. You send some friends to come and listen in so that they can also be able to change their lives. And let me tell you one thing, by inviting them on this platform, you end up saving a lot of lives. People would otherwise have perished because of a lifestyle disease will now know how to handle it, and they will actually be able to save their lives. So that is it on my side. Thank you all. God bless you. Have a restful Sunday evening. Bye-bye.